And let me make something absolutely clear, unless it wasn't already. If you voted for Trump, you are not allowed in Mexico. You are not allowed in Cabos, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Aguascalientes, none of that. Guess what, baby? That's all in Mexico. You don't like us, we don't like you. Don't go there. Stay in your country. Figure it out. Vacation, I don't know, maybe Nebraska perhaps. One of the red states that you love so much. Stay there. Don't have margaritas, don't have tequila, no tacos, no enchiladas, none of that for you. Stick to what you know. Maybe a burger, perhaps, no cheese.
Are you a MAGA follower? Please do not come to Mexico. Do not come to Cancun. Do not come to Puerto Vallarta or Acapulco. Stay in the United States. Eat your Taco Bells. Eat your burritos. Eat your whatever you got back home. In Mexico, we already know that MAGA people hate Mexicans. We already know that you support Donald Trump, who is a really bad guy for Mexicans. They are putting our people in prisons. They are attacking our people. They are disappearing little children, separating families. We don't like MAGA people here in Mexico. And if you come, please do not bring your orange hat saying MAGA. Do not come with your shirt saying MAGA, because I've seen cases where MAGAs have been attacked by Mexicans in Cancun. At least they get knocked on their head, or at least they insult them, and we are right. We know you hate us in the United States, so why are you gonna come to Cancun with your offending us with your MAGA shirts or hats? Stay in the United States, you're better there. Why do you come to Cancun? Why do you come to Mexico? If you don't like us, stay there.
Remember last time I was here at the Guadalajara International Airport, and I told you that one of my many enjoyments was watching MAGAs have to wait in that long ass line to return to the US, and when they get to the front counter, they're told that their immigration paperwork isn't in check, and then they're sent way down there to the immigration office to get that paperwork in check, and by this time their blood pressure is through the roof. Now, they're not concerned about the tax that they have to repay that they already paid, which is typically about $40, but they're more concerned about the crunch time, because if they don't have this paperwork in check, they're not boarding. Like always, since my flight is delayed 2 hours from Guadalajara, Jalisco to Las Vegas, Nevada, I thought I'd stand around and just fish, waiting for a MAGA to be sent down to the immigration office, so you can see firsthand how upset they get when their white privilege here in Mexico is revoked. When it happens to Mexicanos who are traveling back to the US, it kind of sucks because they get caught up in the system. But when it happens to those peeps right there, it's kind of like an eye for an eye.
Greetings, lovely. I hope you are doing well, and welcome back to my channel. So some MAGA supporters traveled to Mexico, right, for a vacation, proudly wearing their MAGA hat as they exploit the beaches, their culture, and the food and everything Mexico had to offer. But according to the reaction they encountered, their experience didn't go exactly as expected. Some reportedly faced cold stares, confrontation, and strong reaction to the political symbol they were wearing. Why the MAGA hat may represent patriotism and political pride to many Americans, some people outside the US may associate it with division and controversy because of the political debate surrounding the movement. Alright guys, let's watch some of these clips and see what happens. Please don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Alright guys, let's get into it.
Now, I was just on a cruise from California to Mexico, and I got on the ship, and of course, there has to be one white old man wearing a hat that says, "Make America Great Again." Now, this man wore that hat everywhere, and I'm talking about in the windjammer, in the fine dining area, in the hot tub, in the pool, while he was sitting down by the pool. He wore that hat everywhere. And when he would get kind of like, you know, the side-eye look people give, you know, because now when I see a red hat, I'm just automatically kind of cringe. He would tip his hat like this as a gesture of, like, basically saying, "Screw you," right? But do you know where he didn't wear that hat? When we got off on Cabo San Lucas, wasn't wearing that hat. When we got off on Puerto Vallarta, wasn't wearing that hat. Now I wonder why. Why was he so brazen and bold to wear that hat on the cruise and sit around and talk with everybody about how great Trump is? But then when he went to the countries in Mexico, didn't wear that hat. And he didn't wear it because he's a coward, because he knows that if he wore that in Mexico, people will be livid at him because of how Trump has treated all the people that live there. And you know what? I agree with this woman. I agree that if you are going to support Donald Trump, you don't get to go to places like Mexico and enjoy all the beauty that they have to offer. You don't deserve to go there because people like Trump don't treat those people with human decency. And so you don't get to have the benefits of all the things that they offer us. Okay, that's just my 2 bit of cents. All my love.
Damn, y'all going to fucking Mexico wearing MAGA hats? I hope like hell that y'all took coolers of food. Because when y'all go to them Mexican restaurants with them MAGA hats on, them chimichangas gonna be lit, baby. They're gonna be taking turns going back and forth to the bathroom, making y'all orders, singing a shitty caca, a shitty caca. Shitty changas just for you. A shitty caca, a shitty caca. Give him coyote poo-poo. They finna fuck y'all up. Y'all motherfuckers gonna go back home with Viva la Gastriones. Muy caca gravistiitis. Let me give you some tips. Fountain drinks ain't supposed to be slimy at the bottom. I would drink bottled water if I were you. And I know y'all really don't like spicy foods, so I recommend you get the habaneros. Those jalapenos are spicy. You want to get habaneros. And if you didn't take a bottled water, I recommend you get a lemonade to go with your meal. You'll say, fuck me, thank me later.
So I'm in Cancun, Mexico. You know, you go on vacation to escape politics, just to have a relaxing vacation. But nope. It's got to be that one lady in the pool with a fucking MAGA hat, you know? But it makes you think. Like, can you imagine the spit, piss, and shit in this woman's food? Can you just imagine the amount of feces that is involved in making her dinner here in Mexico, thinking that it's okay to wear that fucking disgusting hat in a country that all you do is talk shit about? It's simply amazing. It really is. Anyway, I hope from the bottom of my heart that everything that she eats is loaded with piss, shit, and spit. I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well out there. And yeah, this thing will be back soon. Have a day.
I've seen a few videos of people wearing MAGA hats in Mexico. And my question is, what is the intent and what is the appropriate response to something like that? Because if you're going to go down into a place that you have shown such hate and disdain for and wear basically an FU hat to them, what do you think is going to happen? And do you think if something does happen to you that we should come and find you and bail you out? I mean, I'm not saying I wish harm on people, but you're literally going somewhere where you're not welcome and you're showing that basically you're just spitting in those people's face. So like, what's the appropriate reaction for a Mexican to respond to an American who's wearing a MAGA hat? Because I have a few ideas of what I would do if I was in their shoes. And I wonder, what would you do if somebody came and basically just spat in your face? Because that is exactly what they're doing. They think that because Donald Trump is president, they're now safe to do and say whatever they want, wherever they want. And unfortunately for them, they're going to find out pretty quickly that is not the case. You are not welcome in Mexico. You will never be welcome again in Mexico. You should not be eating Mexican food. You should not be listening to Mexican music. You should not be having Taco Tuesday. You should not celebrate Cinco de Mayo coming up in May. None of those things if you are on Team Trump, because you have completely spat in the face of every Mexican and every Mexican American by supporting MAGA. why would you wear a MAGA hat to Mexico? What are you trying to do? Just be a jerk? Be that person? Like, why would you do something like that? And I guarantee something is going to happen to one of those people, and they are going to expect the rest of us to feel sorry for him. Newsflash, we won't be.
You see, this is a perfect example, and thank you for this comment. This is a perfect example of Trump supporters doing things under the guise of, oh, I'm just minding my business. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. You know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You're trying to elicit some type of response so that you can either play victim or just get into an argument that you're dying to have. I don't know if y'all seen the video recently of that man who was on the airplane and he had like a shirt that said, I'm voting for the felon or something like that. And he was recording himself to see if he would get a reaction from people. They do that all the time. Like, the way that people have been ushered into this cult-like following of this man is truly, truly devastating. Not to me, but to their mental state, because they truly don't see why what they're doing is corny and lame. What makes you go to Mexico out of all countries and wear a Make America Great Again hat? You know what you're doing. Mind you, you're a guest in these people's beautiful country, and that's what you want to wear? That's how you show your appreciation to the people who literally open their doors towards you?
I saw a video of a lady that arrived at the airport in Cancun, I think in Cabo, and she was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. And this guy confronted her and started like cussing at her and being like, go back to the US since you hate us so much and you voted for him. And she was like acting like a typical Karen, like, oh, like all scared. You know how they get like whenever you call them out. And it blows my mind that they had the audacity to go to Mexico. Like, what? Like, please. If you are one of those hating ass gauchos that voted for him, don't go to Mexico. You're not accepted there. You're not. You really aren't. You're the first one to scream at us to go back to our country. Well, then stay in yours. It's as simple as that. Stay in your country. Don't come to ours. Especially wearing the hat. And don't be acting surprised when people call you out like you are poking the bear and you're mad because people are attacking you while you're wearing a hat that has brought so much hatred to us, specifically us Mexicans. Yeah, stay here if you don't like it. Yeah.
Yup, you already know. I'm back at the Guadalajara International Airport, and it never surprises me. MAGAs who think their white privilege extends into Mexico. Well, guess what? It doesn't. Before Trump took office in his second term, the Mexican immigration system was very lax. They wouldn't check for your paper visas. If you wanted to leave the country, they wouldn't require it. But now, ever since Trump took office, back in January 2025, now it's mandatory. Now, you have La Guardia Nacional and even immigration agents who are actively checking for visas and paperwork, typically of American citizens. If you're a MAGA and you stand out because of your tattoos, because you pull out your phone and you got Fox News updates, or you have stickers on your luggages of USA flags, etc., you're gonna get singled out. It truly doesn't matter what your final destination is, because typically within domestic flights, you don't carry your paper visa. But nope, if you're a MAGA, you are getting stopped and you're getting checked. And if you don't have your paperwork in check, you're going to go to the immigration office and pay an additional $40 tax. By this time, their blood pressure is through the roof. And that's only when they're flying solo. When they're flying with a family or 3 or 4, you can do the math. $120, $160. But the most important thing is they will lose their flight. Airline staff can't issue a boarding pass unless this paperwork is in check. It truly sounds very petty, and actually it is, but it's kind of like an eye for an eye when it comes to immigration. Not necessarily, but MAGAs, when you're in Mexico, you play by our rules. Salud, mi gente. Los quiero.
So this Latina, who is a Trump supporter, got deported from Mexico back to the US, and I want to use this video to show y'all, no matter how hard you try, you will never be white. And I say that because she made videos going, oh, look, people are making too big of a deal about Trump and the deportations. He's only going after criminals. If you want to be here, you should do it the right way. Then she goes to Mexico, gets stopped by authorities while she's coming back from a concert. They check her papers and then they deport her. Now, they deported her because she overstayed her visa. I know some people are like, well, you should have done it the right way. Calm down. Let's just give her a little grace here. She's not a criminal. Sure, she has ideologies you don't agree with, but she wasn't committing any crimes. She was down in Mexico partying it up. Now, this is where the you'll never be white part comes in. There's over 1 million undocumented white people living in Mexico. They are taking advantage of the system. They're not paying taxes. They're down there just partying it up. And like advocates in Mexico have been saying, that authorities don't go after white people. They actually go after brown people. So you were racially profiled in a country that you were trying to get dual citizenship for. So if you were racially profiled in Mexico, what do you think is going to happen to you in the US when Trump comes into office? Because there are at least 500,000 white people undocumented in the US, and they're never bothered. Because I need you to remember that the immigration system was never set up to hurt white people. It was set up to hurt people of color globally. Our movements are constantly restricted, while white people are never bothered when they do the same thing we do. So as much as you say, oh, well, if you want to come to this country, you have to do it the right way. It is not about doing it the right way. It is always, the immigration system has always been about hurting black and brown people, no matter where we are in the world. So please keep thinking how you're safe now that you're in the US, back in your home country. They don't see you as a US citizen either. They want to take away your citizenship. They want to denaturalize people. So please, let's get rid of that colonized mind, because this immigration system was never made for us.
Yup, you already know. I'm back at the Guadalajara International Airport. And let's see how many MAGAs or Latinos for Trump we can find. They're usually way down there at the immigration office trying to get their FMM paperwork in check. It's really early in the morning, so I don't think we're gonna see any today. But we'll check. Sorry fam, no MAGAs today. But what typically happens for US citizens is that they can't use the mobile check-in feature because the airlines need to verify documents. So you physically have to stand in line, wait about 45 minutes to an hour, reach the front counter, and the agent will ask for a valid FMM or a valid visa. And if you don't have that paperwork in check, they will send you to the immigration office. But the problem is the crunch time. Agents can't issue a person a boarding pass until the immigration paperwork is all clear. The immigration office is open 24 hours a day, but they're not gonna let you borrow a pen, and they're gonna give you the form in Spanish. So if you only speak and write in English, you're gonna have a problem. Each FMM is about $45. So do the math. So let's say everything is clear and it took you about 45 minutes. Now you have to sprint back to the airline and hopefully they can issue a boarding pass. That's where you see MAGAs sprint across the airport, and when they reach the front counter, the ticket agent says, I'm sorry, the flight's closed. At this point, this is where they go nuclear, because they start saying things like, that's why Trump's deporting all you Mexicans. I hate Mexico. I want to go back to America. And they try to invoke the, I'm an American citizen. Let me speak to your supervisor. Sorry, bro. Newsflash, you're in Mexico, and that shit don't fly here. You will stay your ass in Mexico one more day. Viva Mexico.
Imagine traveling to another country wearing a political symbol you proudly wear at home, only to discover that people around you didn't see that symbol the same way you see it. That's the conversation surrounding some Trump supporters who wore their MAGA hats while visiting Mexico and reportedly encountered unexpected reaction. And honestly, this isn't completely surprising. Alright, the MAGA hat isn't just a hat anymore. For many Americans, it represents Trump's political movement, but outside the United States, people may associate it with Trump's immigration policy, his rhetoric about Mexico, or his broader approach to international relationship. So why someone wearing that hat may think, I'm simply supporting my president, right? And someone else may see it as a political statement directed at them. But here is the important part. One reaction doesn't represent the entire country. Millions of Mexicans have different opinions about Trump's American and the MAGA. Still, the situation raises an interesting question. Do Americans realize how differently their political symbol can be interpreted when they travel abroad. At home, a MAGA hat might, start a political conversation. Abroad, it can become an unexpected cultural and political statement. Would you wear a MAGA hat while traveling to a country where Trump policy are controversial? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And please, guys, don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notification for more interesting reaction and conversation about politics, culture, and American as a whole. Once again, thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Bye. Love ya. Mwah.